Hey guys, this is just a slightly longer, slightly more detailed video on how to put together one of these rope makers, beginning with a freshly printed main body, because there may be a couple of changes that you need to make to this in order for it to work. The first one being that on this, the screwdriver bit here just slides off and on nicely like that, but on the default one, depending on how good your printer is, this may be a little too stiff. So to fix that, just take a small file and just file down each side of the dovetail just a little bit. Now this should just slide on nicely like that. It's nice and stiff, but can still be removed just fine. Okay, the next part is you can just use something to push them out, but I like to use a little 2mm drill bit in an X-Acto blade handle and drill out any support structures in these holes. It's important to note that these holes don't need to be tight. They're 2.2 mils compared to the 2mm bolts because you don't need to actually screw the bolts into these holes, if that makes sense. It makes it faster to assemble the tool. These holes here, on the other hand, do need to be tight because that's what holds these spacers and bolts in place. This probably makes no sense, but as I said, rambled, unscripted video. From there, there's not really any more changes to make to this. It should all just slot together nicely, like that. But anyways, so when it comes to actually assembling the tool, so let's go back to this one. Whoopsies. Okay, so I'm going to act like I have no other tools on hand. I'm not going to use a bigger screwdriver. To begin with, take out this driver bit. Just give it a tap, it will fall out. Push that way to release that, and then put that into there. For these, it's not too stiff, so it's actually quicker, I find, to just use this bit without the handle. It's more comfortable. The handle just allows you to get more torque, which you do need later down the line. So just unscrew these. When it gets to just the spacers, it should be loose enough to just pull out. And then unscrew the nut as well, like this. I'm just going to go through. This hole is a little tighter than it should be. The holes on these spacers don't need to, you don't need to screw into these, so they can be bigger as well. Anyways, so now we have all our pieces out, like this. Put these bolts through the holes. So see this, this one here is a little tight, so you can't just use this little wrench and screwdriver bit just to loosen that up enough to where it comes off. So that's the purpose of that piece there. Anyway, so back to here. So put the bolts through the holes. Looking at it on this angle, you'll see there's this little stepped piece that just makes the whole thing look nicer. The Phillips head side of the bolt, or the head of the bolt, I guess, should be on this side. It may be different for left-handed people. I'm not really sure how to test that, but this is just what works for me. It might actually, yeah, anyways. So do that. The bottom spacer, so the one that's, imagining that this protrusion here, this protrusion here is the bottom of the thing, from the way I'm building it, needs a single flat spacer on, just like that. There's two in the kit. Next up, on this top spacer here, on this top bolt, take the stepped spacer, the one that has a little step on it, and just put that on like that. Okay, next up, we're going to take our pencil sharpener blade, and noticing how it's only actually, the bevel is only on one side. So we actually want the bevel facing or the blade side, the bevel facing downwards, or the sharp corner facing up, I guess is another way to put it. And then just rest that and line up the spaces so that they're square with it. Then take another one of these spaces, making sure to put it around the right way. And this is all a bit finicky, just kind of line it up. And then take your bolts, or nuts rather, and just screw them on like that. To begin with, just finger tight is adequate. Now, you do want these to be fairly tight, so to finish them off, just keep holding them with your fingers, or the wrench if you want to, and then use the screwdriver and the bit just to really tighten them down, checking that everything is all lined up. Just go in and do one of these. Just to make sure that it's all nice and firm, like that. Now the tool, you could use it like this, but just for comfort while using it, if you put the handle back on and this, it's just a little more to grab onto while you're pulling it through. And there it is. It's all assembled and made up like that. Hopefully this clears anything up for anyone making one of these. It's obviously a bit of a longer video, but I'm just kind of going over everything that's involved with putting one of these together that's not in the main video. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope that cleared up any issues that you were having if you were making or considering making one of these. I think this should be fairly comprehensive overall. Once again, files are linked in the description if you haven't watched the other video. But I would recommend watching that. There's some other useful bits in there. Thanks for watching.